Welcome to our Lively U Virtual Learning Academy. My name is Danielle, and I'm representing the Wood County Committee on Aging. Today's program is a featured program from Collette Travel, and we are focusing on our trip to California Dreaming, Monterey, Yosemite, and Napa. Please welcome Ed McKenna, our host today.
All right. Thank you very much, Danielle, and thank you very much, folks, for joining me. What I'm going to do today is share a brief bit of information about myself and about Collette Vacations, and then more specifically about the California Dreaming trip. So first of all, thank you very much for joining us. Thanks again, Danielle, for allowing me to share this information. And this trip is the California Dreaming trip, departing next year, March 28th, returning April 4th, and with air included from Detroit, this tour is $29.99. So it's a great value. A little bit about myself. My name is Ed McKenna. I live up here in South Lyon, Michigan, which is northwest of Detroit. And I've been with the company for 31 years now. And this is my family. We love to travel. And my wife and I are empty nesters now, but whenever we can get together with our family, we do that. And it's something that brings us together, gives us something to look forward to. And again, travel allows us to keep the adventure in our lives. So the other thing, Collette Vacations, we are one of those companies you'll see on the Wheel of Fortune. And we just celebrated our 103rd anniversary. We're a family-owned company, okay? So there's a big difference between visiting a destination and doing it on your own versus going and traveling on a guided tour. And one of the really big advantages of a guided tour is making everything simple, making everything easy. You let us do the work, do the research, set up and locate and find the strategically located hotels, include the sightseeing, have all your breakfast included, at least half of your dinners, and bring in the dinners and the meals that represent the culinary experience of the cuisine in that region of the world. And have a guided, have a tour manager with you throughout the experience. So they let you know where and when to go each part of the day. And by design, we do allow some leisure time as well. So if there's things you would like to pursue on your own, you can pursue this. Sit down with the tour manager, almost like your own personal concierge, and they'll help you figure out how to use that free time wisely, okay? So it's simply about making it fun, making it simple, making it easy, and then you enjoy your people and enjoy the destination. As a company, big believers in social responsibility. We had over 6,400 volunteer hours in 2019 by my colleagues, and we really strive to preserve the culture and the history of the areas that we visit throughout the world. Now, everyone likes to know when we go to California, where will we be staying? What hotel? This will be the hotel that you're staying at. And if you pay for the upgrade, we will even take the boards off the windows for you. So not to be alarmed, we do list the hotels very proudly in our brochure. We encourage you to Google them. And I think once you do, you're gonna be very pleased with the accommodations that we've chosen for you. All right. So let's get into the good stuff now. California Dreamin', Monterey, Yosemite, and Napa. And it's an 8-day program. And this gives you a nice snapshot of where you're going to be visiting. So we're going to fly into San Jose. We're going to stay in Monterey, California for your first 2 nights. We're going to get familiar with that area, enjoy it, and then head in a northeasterly trajectory to Oakdale. And then we're going to stay in Tulum for 2 nights. One day, we're going to venture out into Yosemite National Park and enjoy all the splendors that that has to offer. Then we're going to head northwest, 2 nights in the capital city of Sacramento. We're going to venture up to the Nevada border and Lake Tahoe and enjoy all the mountains and the beautiful lake up there. And then head back towards the coast, and we're going to stop in Napa and enjoy some of the wineries and the sites there. And then one final night in San Francisco. And we do offer a 2-night extension for those that want to do more of San Francisco and do that on your own. And I'll explain how you go about experiencing that if that's something you'd like to do. All right, so first stop, Monterey. Rich history, beautiful coastal town, and home to California's first theater, public library, and they even had the first printing press out there as well. But they have a world-class aquarium out there, and it's also known for Cannery Row. So these are two of the iconic things that you'll see out there. As you can see, they've got their own host of wildlife with the seals, and sometimes you can see whales swimming off the coast out there as well. So from there, we head up to have a little bit of time while you're there in Monterey to do some exploring on your own. You may want to visit the aquarium or one of these self-guided tours along the coastal area with all the paths and some of the historic landmarks there. And then from there, continuing on to the spectacular, famous 17-mile drive. So you've got this beautiful coastal area. You have the iconic lone cypress tree, also out there on Seal Rock. The other thing, 17-mile drive passes right by the famous Pebble Beach golf course. And also, we're going to end up relaxing for a nice dinner to round out the day. So from Monterey, we're going to head northeast up through the Central Valley of California and heading through the foothills of the Sierra Nevada region. So it's this beautiful rolling mountains. And we're going to stop off in Oakdale, where they have these huge almond and walnut orchards. And this is where you're going to meet up with the local farmer who will show you around town, bring you to his small farm, and you'll enjoy some of the tastings of the things that they do with the various walnuts and almonds. So 80% of the world's almonds are produced right here in California. From there, continue on to the small town of Tulum, which is going to be your home for the next 2 days. And it's kind of the gateway when you're exploring and getting out into Yosemite. Okay, so we're going to get into Yosemite National Park with all of its flowing rivers, raging waterfalls, these huge monolithic granite structures. And we're going to enjoy a scenic drive through the park. And then we're going to jump onto a tram car with a local ranger expert guide, sharing with you how these grandiose structures came to be, you know, the creation of nature. And of course, all the entire park is just plentiful with various types of wildlife, black bears, bighorn sheep, many species of birds, coyotes, wolves, lots of different deer, bald eagles. You're looking around everywhere, every which way, never really knowing, you know, what's going to come up and be seen next. So some of the more iconic parts of the Yosemite experience are Half Dome and El Capitan, which are probably the things that you'll see most photographed there. Also, there's the tunnel view and Yosemite Falls, which is the other big thing. So by going in the spring, that's typically when the falls are most active. So this tour, I think, is appropriately scheduled, where you'll have the most vigorous waterfalls at that time of the year. So Yosemite Falls is made up of 3 separate falls, upper, middle, and the lower Yosemite Falls, to create this one huge series of cascades raging down through the granite structures. Now, Sacramento is the capital of California. Our former president, Ronald Reagan, when he was the governor, he was seated here. Arnold Schwarzenegger, when he was the governor, this is where, you know, he sat during his term. And in addition to the modern city that you see before you right here, there's also the old historic Sacramento, which is this collection of 60 historic buildings, and they've retained and sustained them from the early gold rush era. And so it still looks like you're back in time when the gold fever brought so many people out to this area to be developed. So the next day, we are going to give you a choice on what you would like to see and do. Two people sharing the same room may end up doing different things depending on what your appetite and what your likes are in the form of interest. So one of those would be going to the California State Railroad Museum tour, or the other would be going to the Crocker Art Museum tour. And I'll explain a little bit about the difference there. The Railroad Museum is a tribute to the role that the trains played in connecting California with the rest of the United States back then. And this was in 1862. So trying to think of a time capsule, that was just shortly before the Civil War broke out, to give you a little bit of a reference of what was going on in our country back then. And a lot of these are the restored cars that were traveling back in 1862. Now, the other choice would be the Crocker Art Museum. And this is a collection of art going back to the Gold Rush era. They have some of the European masters' drawings housed in the museum. And so it's a collection of Californian art, European art, and it has one of the largest international ceramics collections in the United States. And these collections are a collaboration of Asian, African, and oceanic art. So if you're an art buff, I think this one you will find very interesting. So that evening, you are going each to have before you a choice of restaurants to choose from. We call this diner's choice. And again, two people rooming together may end up eating dinner at different places that night if you so desire. So it keeps it interesting. And the next day, when everyone gets together, they're talking about what their restaurant was like, the ambiance, the culinary experience, and there's a lot of buzz in the air after that. So it's a neat thing and everyone enjoys that. So from there, we're going to head out to Lake Tahoe, one of the cleanest, purest, most colorful lakes in our country. And we're going to travel over the Sierra Nevada mountain range to get there. And if you were out there skiing in Tahoe, you could be going back and forth between the border of Nevada and California, literally right down the mountain. So we've got a scenic paddle wheel cruise included for you on the Zephyr Cove, and you get a chance to take in these turquoise waters on Emerald Bay on Lake Tahoe, and you learn a little bit about the history of the area. And also it's interesting because they've got these casinos there as well, and they've had all the Brat Pack and the, all the old classic entertainers that have put their mark on Tahoe as an entertaining dynamic. All right, so now we're continuing on through the rolling hills to the vineyards of Napa Valley, our country's most iconic wine region. And we're going to visit a winery, learn the art and science of their winemaking process before we sit down and enjoy a private tasting. And of course, this is where we're going to have our farewell lunch before continuing on to San Francisco. All right. So our final evening is in San Francisco. We do allow that final evening as a way for you to enjoy it and take in the things that interest you the most. And your tour manager can help you with the array of things to do, the various choices. One of those may be visiting the crookedest road in the world that you see right here, Lombard Street. And of course, there's so many other things to take in as well. So with that, that's the end of the tour, and then you fly home from there. But if you prefer to spend 2 extra nights in San Francisco to explore things on your own, you can do that for $349 per person extra, and you'll get that $340, the 2 extra nights along with the 2 breakfasts, and you can explore on your own. And again, your tour, this is unguided. Your tour manager can sit down with you and go over, how to pursue those extra 2 days to get the most for your time. Here you have the iconic Golden Gate Bridge, and took 4 years to build it over the bay, and now it takes 4 years to paint it, and then when they're done, they come back around and start all over again. So these are the Victorian homes that are famous. You always see these in a lot of the movies. You have Fisherman's Wharf, Ghirardelli Chocolate Factory, there's Chinatown, And of course, if you wanted to get out there to see Alcatraz, the prison on the island, you want to set that up ahead of time. Now, keep in mind, this $29.99 per person price at the twin or double rate includes getting picked up at your center and taking you to and from Detroit Metro Airport. So it makes it convenient for you. You're not paying extra for the parking at the airport. It makes it simple and easy. And if you wanted to fly out a little bit earlier or come back a little bit later, we can help you with that as well. We do offer the travel insurance, which allows you to cancel for any reason all the way up to the day prior to departure. And with everything going on in the world right now, I highly encourage people to take advantage of this great insurance. Most people do. It's kind of like car and home insurance. You hope you never need it. The one time you do, you want to make sure you have that. And our insurance has been mentioned in the New York Times and in the USA Today as one of the most comprehensive in the industry and also one of the most competitively priced. And whenever I take my family on these trips, I always get the insurance, and I have had to use it, unfortunately, once as well. There are some other amenities included: baggage loss, delay on the trip interruption, medical assistance, many things included, and I'll go over the price on that in the next couple of slides here. Also, we have a loyalty program. So your second trip with us, if it's within 12 months of your previous trip, you receive a $150 loyalty discount. And if it's not until 13 to 24 months until the previous trip, then it's a $100 loyalty discount. Okay. The good news, you don't need a visa, you don't need a passport, but you do need either your driver's license or your state issued ID. Has to be valid and current. And then starting May 3rd, 2023, I'm just taking an opportunity to make a public announcement here, public service announcement. You'll need that star on your driver's license referred to as the real ID. And to get that, you'll need either your birth certificate or a passport, valid one, to get that on there. And that's just so you can fly domestically after May 3rd, 2023. All right. Well, how can you sign up? One of the ways, and if you want to take a picture of this slide with your phone, I'll hang on a moment or two to allow you to do that. But you put this link in your browser and it'll automatically pull up the entire brochure on a digital link. You can read through the entire itinerary, and it has a sign up now button on it that you see here. It takes about 10 minutes to sign up online, but that link is gateway.gocollette.com/link/1035717. So that is in fact the booking number for this specific trip. If you want to take a picture right now, that would be great. That is the link to get you on there. And of course, the other way would be to contact the center at Wood County, and they can get you the sign-up form there as well. So you can do it digitally online, and it takes about 10 minutes to get you all set, or you can contact the center. They can help you with the sign-up form as well. So the price, again, $29.99 per person, assuming 2 people are in the room, is including air from Detroit. How much is it to sign up? It's a $600 deposit, and the insurance must be paid with the deposit. The insurance is $299, so you'd pay $600 for the deposit, $299 for the insurance, so that's $899 per person, and it saves you space on the trip. We are holding a few seats for the center all the way up until September 28th, 2021. It is first come, first serve. So by signing up early, you make sure you're one of those 10 folks still on the tour, and yet you can cancel all the way up to September 28th. Both your deposit and your insurance are refundable up until September 28th. So you want to sign up early to make sure you're one of the folks on the tour, and yet you can still cancel all the way up to September 28th and get a full refund of your insurance and your deposit back. After September 28th, if you were to cancel, We would hold your insurance, but pay you everything else back. So if, the day before the trip, you couldn't go, no problem. You don't need to tell us why. You would get a complete refund, your full payment for everything except that $299 insurance. Okay. Remember, that is first come, first serve. And if you have any questions, please direct them to Danielle and the folks at the center, and then they will contact my team and we will get your questions answered, and make sure that you feel comfortable about signing up on the tour. So thank you so much for jumping on to explore the possibilities, and enjoy the rest of your summer, and be safe, and happy travels to you. Thank you so much. And thank you, Danielle. And Danielle, do you have any questions by chance?
Yeah, no, thank you, Ed. I just wanted to inform our viewers that we will be posting this on our YouTube channel. If you look up YouTube and Wood County Committee on Aging, Inc., you'll be able to refer this to friends as well. So happy that you can share this information with friends for a great tour and an opportunity to get out and about and see what's going on in the world today. It's nice to have that chance to do that again, Ed.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So appreciate
thank you so much.
it. We'll go ahead and we'll stop.